What's going on, everyone? So, this season is a big season for Anthony Davis because this may very well be the season that makes or breaks Anthony Davis as that number one guy, right? LeBron James, this could very well be his last season. And if that is the case, then this is now Anthony Davis's team. And Anthony Davis in the bubble really showed like he could be the number one guy. When LeBron James was out with injury, he showed he could be the number one guy. I mean, that dude was ridiculous, playing like the best player on the planet. He is more than capable of being the guy on a team. It's just the lack of consistency, right? Defensively, he's always great. He's the best defensive player in the league, hands down, far and away, right? But it's putting the whole package together. It's the consistency. That's the one thing that keeps him from being elite, great, maybe greatest player in the league type thing. 2020, there was a real conversation of like, is Anthony Davis the best player in the league? This was a guy that could give you, 25 and 12 with like 3 blocks, 2 assists, just basically stuff a stat sheet, shoot the 3 ball, shoot the mid range, basically be a 3-level scorer for a big man. He was unguardable. And then we've just slowly start to see him become more and more inconsistent, just performing worse and worse at times. And he's going into an extension time, right? And there's talks about him getting his extension, that the Lakers want to get this done this week and all that stuff. But there's a real question of, should you sign him to an extension, right? Like, or do you wait? The big elephant in the room is, can he stay healthy? Now, I don't think the Lakers really care about the regular season. Most guys nowadays miss 20 plus games anyway. But can he stay healthy year in and year out in the playoffs, right? He was able to this past playoffs, and he had a foot injury and stuff. But is he going to be able to do that year in and year out? Because if he's not, can you really pay him $55 million a year for the next 5 years or whatever his extension turns out to be, right? Like, that could put the Lakers in a very tough position, even after LeBron James. Now, again, there's an argument that, all right, LeBron's on the roster, his gravity is just so large that, you can't help but allow him to take the reins. Even when LeBron's trying to be passive and trying to play second fiddle, it's still hard because LeBron James is just that good, right? Okay, I can get that. But that still raises the question of, like, is Anthony Davis a leader? Is he capable of being a leader? I mean, these were questions when he was with the Pelicans, right? So this isn't like something that's just solely like, oh, this last few years before the bubble or since the bubble, right? No, like, this was a real question with the Pelicans, right? Like, people were like, dude, this guy's like has the potential to be the most talented player ever. Like, we haven't seen a guy this skilled and talented, I don't think, ever. But he can't seem to put it all together and win. And now he goes to the Lakers and he ends up winning immediately. And it's like, oh, here we go. Here's the AD era, right? AD's about to go snatch 3 or 4 NBA championships. And look, maybe he would have, right? If he doesn't get injured the following year in 2021, the Lakers probably go back to back. I mean, they were still one of the best teams, or the best team in the league still, in several categories, right? Before injuries and all that stuff. Dennis Schroeder was, along with AD and LeBron James, they were a plus 15.5, which was by far the best 3-man lineup in the league at the time. Anthony Davis looked very good, very solid. They're up 2-1 against the Phoenix Suns, looking like they're about to go up 3-1. Phoenix has no answer, and then Anthony Davis goes down. LeBron was already on like one leg, and it became a problem. And Anthony Davis has not been able to deliver since. But when he can, he's arguably the best player on the planet. You got a very limited window with LeBron James, right? You have this year and maybe next year. If the Lakers win the chip, I definitely think he's back. I even think he'd be willing to take a discount. I know he has said in the past, like 7-8 years ago, that he won't take a discount ever again. But that changes when you're 41 years old, or 40 years old at the time he would be when that happens. 40 years old, year 22, trying to go get your sixth NBA championship. Things tend to change pretty quickly, right? Like all of a sudden it's like, this is my real chance to get six, right? So if they win an NBA championship, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a discount. If they're close, right? Like let's say they make it to the finals, but they lose in a tough 7 or tough 6 or something. I think LeBron might say, all right, man, we're like a piece away. We were just in the Western Conference, and now we're in the NBA Finals, and we were, a turnover away or something like that from winning an NBA championship. Let's go try for it, right? But I still believe at the end of the day, the Lakers go as far as Anthony Davis takes us. I have said this repeatedly, and I will continue to say this because I think it's important. Like, we need Anthony. Like I said last year, we go as far as Anthony Davis takes us. And Anthony Davis did a great job of taking us to the Western Conference Finals. And he was one of the biggest pieces about it, right? He was dominant. He was great. He was inconsistent at times. But he, for the most part, was very good and very impactful, even just on the defensive. Even the games he didn't show up offensively, he was very good on the defensive end and completely can dictate, impact, and win games on his defense alone. There's not very many players in the history of the game that can do that, right? Anthony Davis is everywhere. And so, if we're starting to get into the, hey, show us what you got. Be the leader. Step up. LeBron's been preaching this for the last few years. I'm sure LeBron's still going to be preaching it to him this year. Like, this is your team. This is your moment. Let's make this happen. But we need Anthony Davis to take that leap. We need Anthony Davis to quit playing the games, right? Anthony Davis, I don't even necessarily need him to be the best player on the planet, right? It's just consistency. Like, even if he's a 23-10 guy, right? Like, which is fine. That would be great. It's the one night he's 23-10, the next night he's 45-20. And you're just like, dude, what is going on? He's got 45 points, 20 rebounds, 5 blocks, 3 steals, 3 assists, 0 turnover. And you're just like, dude, this can't be, this has got to be a Photoshop stat line. And you're like, no, that really was his stat line. And then the next night, it's like 7 points on 3 of 23 shooting. And you're just like, where did this guy come from? Who is this? This can't be the same 2 people. It's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde at times. And like, I would love to see just that consistency. Whatever it is, whatever that consistency is. I'm not saying Anthony Davis has to necessarily be a 30-15 player. Look, he's more than capable of being that. He really is. Like, he is more than capable of being, I think, a 30-12, 30-15 player. He led the league last year in 30-15 games. He also led the league last year in 35-15 games. So he is very capable of being a 30-15 guy. He should win the defensive player of the year. He should have won it last year. And he needs to start taking this narrative. He needs to start taking this he needs to start taking it personal, right? Go out there and prove people wrong. Show you are him. You are that guy. You are the one that can lead this Lakers team to an NBA championship. Because now you don't have 2020 LeBron anymore, right? You don't have Finals MVP LeBron James. We need Finals MVP Anthony Davis. We need best player in the matchup, whoever it is in the NBA Finals, Anthony Davis. Say we're playing Boston. He needs to outplay everybody. The problem is he got outplayed by Jokic. He got outplayed by Jamal Murray. And you're not winning that way. Right? When their 2 stars show up and yours don't, you're not winning. Just not. So we go as far as AD takes us. Hopefully that's to an NBA championship. I think we ride the back of Anthony Davis and he leads us where we need to go. But Anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think Anthony Davis can lead the Lakers to an NBA championship? Do you think, no, he's not that guy. He's more of a second than a first. He's more of a Batman than a Robin than a Batman. How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I would love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below.